Hello, everybody. I never know how to start.
I know.
It's so
Awkward.
nice out here. Gray's in her puffy jacket getting ready for Montana. I'm in the same gray sweatshirt I wear 3 out of 4 days, 5 days of the week.
Simple things.
Yeah. You know, they say geniuses always wear the same thing, but I don't think that's me. I just think I'm lazy and don't do laundry.
Or also, like, you have your favorite things to wear. Like, I have so
Yeah.
many clothes I don't wear, and I have my favorite things to
It was
wear.
$9.99 at the Gap in like 2013.
Great.
Today okay, challengers. This is my favorite. Can we do that?
Yeah. Let me turn it down.
This is my great turn. So, this is my favorite week is talking about discipline, the mix between discipline and grace, building long-term habits. So, building habits that you can do over and over again. One of the things I always didn't really like about challenges was my biggest fear was you guys would do something for 8 weeks and then completely fall off the wagon and completely go in the opposite direction. I hate to hear people say when they do an 8-week challenge, but then 4 weeks later they've done nothing for 4 weeks. Then I feel like we kind of didn't teach you anything. You see that with people that do the 75 hard. They do the 75 hard and then they do the 75 nothing, right? So
it's more like 75 hard and then 295
295 days of like absolutely nothing because you're still in complete trauma from the 75
From
days.
75 hard. God, people will tell me they're starting that, and I'm like, please don't.
Yeah.
For me and for you, please don't.
Yeah, I find the 75 hard is one of those things where they call you back in 10 days and be like, wow, this isn't going to work.
Yeah.
I do like some of the stuff like they tell you to read every day. And
Yeah.
stuff like that. That's cool.
Yeah. I think, well, and like I posted about it last year when it was like popular. There's different ways to make a challenge hard without having to do like 2-a-days and cardio every day and like walking an absurd amount of steps. Like it.
Yeah.
Not everybody can do 2-a-days.
But we're going to have an
everybody should do
onboarding
2-a-days.
process, offboarding process.
Yes.
Where we educate you guys on what's next. What do you do now after 8 weeks? And discipline and the balance of discipline and grace is one that I like. Building long-term habits is the one I like. And that's what this week's content has been all about. Gray put it very good that, and I don't know how you exactly put it, you might remember, but you said, don't grace yourself out of getting results or something like that. Like sometimes you give yourself so much grace that you're giving yourself grace on 5 out of the 7 days.
Yeah, like grace doesn't mean that you're lowering your standards. Like
Maybe that's it.
when you're giving yourself grace, you don't lower your standards. You're just allowing for a mistake to happen. But if you don't learn from that mistake, that's not giving grace. That's just over and over again letting yourself be a mistake repeater.
Mediocre.
Like that's like apologizing for something that you keep doing. That's obviously a toxic relationship. So you're not giving grace at that point. You're just giving excuses.
I think people need to be allowed to make mistakes with their nutrition, their diet. They're going to miss a day. They're going to have a day they didn't plan well. Well, then the next day you do plan well.
Yeah.
Right?
Correct.
And, somebody asked me in a message, well, what does discipline look like? Like, how many days do you have to, does it look like? And I tell people, like, if you're doing an 8-week challenge, the first week is going to be rocky, right? You're just kind of getting used to it. But after the second or third week, days that you don't plan for your food or schedule your week out to miss workouts, everybody's going to be a little bit different, but those should happen very rarely every 2 weeks, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Consistency is where you're going to get your results from.
Yeah.
And if you just keep allowing yourself to overeat, and under-exercise in something, you're not going to get results. And then you're going to get frustrated. And that's when you hear people say, I got an email from somebody doing a consult that's like, I've tried everything. Keto, counting carbs, paleo, HIIT training, lifting. Well, chances are they didn't do it long enough, or they didn't do it consistently enough for a long enough period of time to see results. So you got to understand that changing your habits is hard. This is hard. You're going to have to say no. You're going to have to have cravings at night. I posted something where someone talked about the protein test. That if you're not to the point where you're hungry enough where you could eat something that's high in protein, like eggs, chicken, fish, steak, then you're probably not hungry. You're just having a craving, right? And we have to differentiate between being hungry and having a craving, right? And that takes discipline. Here's what else I'll tell you. Being able to show discipline and know is compounding after the first time you do it.
Yeah.
So when you go somewhere and somebody says, hey, I made cupcakes and, all this bad food, and you say, no, I'm going to make better choices. The first time you say no, it becomes so much easier to say no the second time, and then the third time, and then the fourth time.
Yeah, you're a lot more comfortable inside of saying no. You're not worried about what other people think when you say no.
And you realize it's really not that bad.
It's not that big of a deal.
It's not that big of a deal. I've been trying to not eat about 3 hours before I go to bed. So I'll eat at 7. I've been done at 7. And now I do stupid calories right now, like ridiculous number of calories right now. I'll quit eating at 7 o'clock and I'll find myself at 9 o'clock like,
That sounds good.
That sounds good. I like fruit. I want a popsicle.
I've had ice cream cravings so bad lately, and I never crave sweets.
But when you say no and you stop doing it and you go to bed and you wake up the next day and you feel great, you're like, wow, I value feeling great in the morning when I get up. I value achieving a goal for myself nutritionally way more than I do eating those sweets, right? It's all about human value. We make our decisions what's on what we value.
Right.
If we value eating crappy, eating those sweets and skipping our workouts more than the results of having a healthy athletic body that achieving a goal we want to do, if you value that more, then you're going to make that decision. You got to really, 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 really value your health and value meeting a goal for you to be consistent.
And I think that takes time. Like, I knew for me that took a lot of time for me to
stages.
see that.
You say it took stages.
Yeah, like, because I've told people this before, and I know we've talked about it before, like, my goal when I got to the gym was like, yes, I wanted to lose weight, but my goal was just to like feel better about myself. And it took me a while to understand that like my workouts shouldn't be my number one priority. It should be the health of my body. Like, it should be how I'm feeling. It should be, because like if I'm valuing workouts over the health of my body and how I'm feeling, that there's going to be days that I go into the gym and work out when I probably shouldn't. I'm sore, or like, you really shouldn't work out hungover. Like, if I'm valuing the health of my body, I'm doing what's best for my body first. Like, I'm resting first, I'm eating the good foods that I should be eating. Then I work my workouts in. It's like you learn those things based on how you feel and how those things make you feel. And it just comes with time.
It does. There are people that I know that their first step in eating healthy is just eating breakfast and going for a walk.
Yeah.
And then eating breakfast, going for a walk, eating a good lunch. And then before you know it, I'm going to do a little bit of exercise at home. Now they got a gym membership. Now it's 6 months later.
Yeah.
They're eating healthy, going to gym 3 days a week, walking 2 days a week, and hitting their protein numbers. Like, it happens in stages. I agree with that. It happens in stages for everybody.
Well, I think because you eventually learn that this is not an instant gratification process. The only thing that's going to bring you instant gratification is like after that workout you did, you're like, oh, I feel really good now. Like, that's the closest instant gratification you're going to get. When you really figure out that it's like a long-term fix and that you feel better long-term and you're like, wow, I've actually felt good for 6 months and not just 6 days, like that's when the decision-making starts getting better, because you're like, I don't want to go out and do those things because I don't want to feel like shit, I don't want to jeopardize my sleep again because I feel so much better than I did 6 months ago.
Yeah, I don't want to stay up until 1 o'clock because getting up at 6 o'clock, I know I'm going to feel crappy. I don't want to eat bad because I know I'm going to feel crappy. Not feel crappy about yourself emotionally, but you're going to function.
The health of your body. Yeah.
I've always, and I've really tried to focus on things that help me work at the peak performance I can.
Correct.
How can I perform? Because then I'm better all the way around. I'm better to my kid. I'm better at work. I'm better at fitness. I'm better at nutrition. I have better workouts.
Yeah.
I'm just better all the way around.
Yeah.
But it comes with discipline, the ability to say no. And that starts also with your environment. If you hang around 5 unhealthy people, you're going to be the 6th. We've seen that one. If you hang around 5 people that are smart, you're probably going to be the 6th. If you hang around people that are rich, you're going to probably end up finding ways to be rich. Your environment matters. And if you're around people, here's another thing. If you're around people that like to tempt you while you're going through this 8-week challenge, eliminate people. They're not your friends. I'll tell you right now, if Gray came to me and said, I'm trying to do this, or she's like, I'm trying to quit this. Say Gray came to me and was like, I'm trying to quit eating ice cream. Well, you know what I'm saying? But and then me and her went to hang out, or she came over, or we sat down right here.
Intermission.
Yeah. And if she sat down right here and I had a little bit of ice cream, and I'm eating in front of her being, ooh, ice cream, I'm a shitty friend.
Yeah.
I really am. If you're around friends that are trying to sabotage this for you, you got to start thinking about who you're hanging around.
Well, like, also remember, that is their insecurity. I think that's so important that we keep hammering that home. Is like, when people make you feel guilty for making better decisions, that is their insecurity. That is something that they wish that they could do. That is not them being malicious on purpose. Well, maybe malicious on purpose, but deep rooted, that is insecurity in them, and they wish that they had the ability to say no to the things that you're saying no to.
We have somebody doing the challenge right now that literally said that their significant other looks at them sometimes when they're eating healthy, and that the other person is eating bad, goes, "Come, it's not that serious. It's not that big of a deal. You're taking it too serious." And I'm like, what? Like, I mean, why don't you be happy for people that are dedicated to something long term?
Because they can't be.
Like, I think that's awesome. Like, I'll never be that friend. I had a friend tell me great news today that they're renting a space for their business, and they got a great deal about it. And you know what? I'm happy for that person. I was like, I'm so happy for you.
That's just difference
Right?
in, like, that's difference in taking care of your health. You know, like, you've put in a lot of work to take care of your mental health and your physical health. And so, like, when people do really cool things, it's not, you know, there might be some kind of envy in there, but you're not going to outwardly express it. You're not going to, you're right.
Yeah, I'm motivated by it.
Right. And so, like, maybe not envy is the correct word, but, like, you look at that and you're like, I want to do that. You know, I want that for me too, but I'm very happy for you.
Yeah. If you're around somebody sabotaging this place, they're not your friend. They're really not. If you're trying to get healthy and they want to bring bad crap around and convince you with it, I have a friend of mine, a real close friend, that quit drinking. And they would get texts from buddies. They'd be like, hey, we're at the bar. Pictures of glass of beer. Why don't you come hang out? They know that person's trying to quit drinking or drink less, and they send that to them. Those aren't your friends, right? It's going to take discipline for you to achieve your goals here. You're going to feel great when you do it.
Yeah.
When you say no, when you avoid the food, when you hit that workout in the morning, you feel great. So many people work out in the morning, be like, it's hard. Then they text me after their workout and be like, I feel accomplished.
Yeah. I think something to remember that's important too is that discipline, like I posted about, is always going to top your motivation. So everybody's like, how do I get motivated to do this every single day? I'm like, again, it takes time. When you start doing it for weeks on end, then it's like, I've been having a gym slump the last 6 weeks, me personally. But my discipline gets me there, at least walking every single day, because I'm like, I know I'm going to feel better after I do it. I know I'm going to feel better after I do it. I know I'm going to feel better after I do it. And I do, every single time. Every time. But your motivation is not always going to be there, so you're going to have to rely on that discipline that you built to get you there. Because your brain is going to be like, listen, even if it's 20 minutes, go in there, get it done, get out.
This is my favorite topic.
Yeah, it's one of mine too.
I think it's a hard topic for me to talk about because I am pretty disciplined, but I wasn't always this way, right? I also have quite a contrarian personality. So when I sit down in a room full of people who are eating bad, I like to be the person that orders the chicken and vegetables. It's just like my way of dropping a middle finger to unhealthy things. But and that's my own psychological issue. We can unwrap a lot of that.
Yeah, we can talk about that later.
We can unwrap that. But I am disciplined, but I've also learned the benefits of being disciplined. There are things I struggle with. Sleep is one of my things I struggle with. Wasting time. I'm the best at wasting time.
I can do that pretty good too.
I am the best at procrastinating.
Yeah.
Listen, we got business deadlines that we have to meet as a business by the 31st of this month. I started today. Right? So please don't hear me saying like I'm awesome. Like I'm not. There's just things I'm really good at.
Everybody has their vices.
There's just some things you're good at, right?
Yeah.
This just happens to be one of the things I'm good at, which is why I coach it.
But I'm better on the deadline too. I've told you that many times before.
Yeah,
I'm so much better on it. If
love-
I don't have a deadline, I ain't doing it.
Gray organizes all 8 weeks of the content. And I was like, we'll just wing it. And now I'm like, wow, this is really cool.
It's really nice to have, huh?
So, all right, end of week 4. This is halfway point.
Yes.
Okay?
Offboarding, we'll talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, if you want to.
Just a tiny bit, because I want to start getting it into your minds.
Yeah.
We do have a 4-week offboarding program starting at the end of this challenge. So it will be a 4-week mini challenge at the end of this 8-week challenge. We're going to start posting about it here more in the next few weeks, but just get that inside of your brain that we will have 4 weeks in between this challenge and the next challenge, that we will have a 4-week mini challenge for you guys.
We'll keep everybody in this group if you're in this group already. Then we'll move you in the next challenge if you want to do it. Next challenge, So that we won't talk about that. So just we're gonna have
Sometime
a
in
plan. There's gonna have a plan, right? We're gonna have an offboarding for you.
Yes.
You're gonna do 8 weeks, then we're gonna move you into something cool. So there's always a plan, and just keep following it, and we're not just gonna go 8 weeks, forget about it,
Have
and then
fun.
you go 8 weeks.
Yeah. We'll see you again next year.
That's the opposite of a challenge I want to have. So, all right, end of week 4, and we'll talk to y'all in a week.
Yes, sounds good. Bye, guys.